Hey, my name's Josh. I play guitar in Paper Arms, and we're from Adelaide, Australia. I remember we started back in 2007. We started jamming together, and it was sort of at a point where I'd been playing in bands for. I'd been in a punk band for like 7 years since I was 15, and then I was in a hardcore band for another couple of years after that. And I'd sort of gotten to a point where I pretty much didn't want to play music anymore. I'd almost gotten ready to hang up the gloves, so to speak. And my hardcore band had just broken up, and I remember seeing Tom Crosby just out the front of this show, and sort of asked him how his band was going. And Tom was this ridiculous drummer, like every now and then you just see a musician that sort of stands out of the pack a bit, and that was Tom. And he was like, oh, yeah, the band's sort of on hold. Guitarist has gone overseas for a year, and yeah, I'm not really doing anything. And it's one of those moments where, a good drummer's like a terrible thing to waste. So I was like, I don't suppose you like a band called Hot Water Music at all? And he did, and so we started a band. And we needed a bass player, and he was like, well, the bass player from my band that's on hold is free. So we got Mike, and we jammed together for like a year. And then just before we started playing shows, we needed a guitarist, and Max was coming back from overseas, and I had to call him up and be like, remember your old band? It's now my new band, and would you like to join it? So yeah, that's how we started. Broken dreams. One of the songs of our demo was called Feeling Fallow, and it was like a bit of a mission statement that we were doing this because we loved it and we wanted to do it, and we wanted to hear that sort of music, you know what I mean? But we were sort of well aware that it probably wasn't going to be very popular where we were from. The sound that we do, I guess, is something that's existed for a long time in different places. It's probably something that's more native to somewhere like Melbourne or Gainesville or Richmond or something like that, and there are certain places in the world where that's what bands sound like. And I mean, to this day, there's still not really a scene that we fit into in Adelaide, for better or worse. Yeah, it's been really incredible sort of being able to go outside Adelaide, outside Australia, and sort of see how it gets received. Like in Europe, for example, went there for the first time in June last year and just had the best time of our lives. And went to places that we didn't know the names of, that we'd never heard of, where they'd heard of us and were singing along. And that's just the sort of experience that you can't buy that. That's just something that I'm really privileged to have been a part of, so it's cool. I guess we're all a bit older, and playing in a band is hard when you're older. There's lots of things. We're not, we're not leaving our job at McDonald's anymore to go away. We're leaving real jobs that we've worked hard to get, and so it's one of those things that you have to constantly prioritize and make happen. I'm sort of thankful for every moment that we get now. At any moment, it could sort of fall in a heap. But for now, we're having fun with it, and we're all, great friends, and I love spending time with these dudes. I love writing music with these guys, and I love traveling with these guys. And so, yeah, I guess as long as good things keep happening, we'll keep doing it, The plan is to write a new record, which has been interesting because I've moved to a different city than the other boys. They're still in Adelaide, I'm in Melbourne. It's an 8-hour drive away, and it's going to be hard, but it's 2014, and we can email songs to each other, and we can, people have digital drums and things now, so we're going to give that a try. But that's the next plan. So in 2010 we did our first record, which was called Days Above Ground, and at that point it was just like an achievement to have a record, you know, like we'd just had a demo before that, went straight to a full length. We got this guy, Walter Schreifels, that used to be in Quicksand and Gorilla Biscuits and Rival Schools, to come over to Adelaide and produce it with us, and that was pretty wild. So at that point, that was, you know, like amazing for us. We, you know, a bit of back padding and stuff, and then we toured that for a while, and it came time to do a new record, and I don't know, my life had kind of fallen in a bit of a heap between the records. I had a big breakup and that sort of thing, and found for a long time that writing songs was just horrendous. You know, like I was just writing these sort of woe is me ballads that were horrible, that no one should have heard. And you know, like people have said, but you could write, you know, like an awesome depressing record, and yeah, maybe, but I think I just would have written a really depressing record that I would have had to relive every show. So I guess instead of doing that, I started finding stories from other parts of my life, you know, like even years old, and sort of finally getting around to writing about them. I guess probably like one of the heaviest songs on the record is the last track, which is called The Heart Within, which is about my best mate from high school who killed himself. And it was a funny thing, because when someone does that, it puts you in a funny position, I guess, like, for me anyway. Like, I guess on one hand you sort of think that they're really, you know, like you feel for them, they must have been in a terrible place to do that, and your heart goes out to them. But like on the other hand, you just want to like hit them and say, why didn't you call me? Why didn't you call someone? Why didn't you? People would have helped. You could still be here, you know? And so you like have these conflicting emotions, and I didn't feel like I could write about it for years. And I finally did, and it's on the latest record. And it doesn't really say much, but like the chorus just says like, I remember your cheeky grin, and I remember the heart within. And I think that was just really good to get on paper and get off my chest and get into the world, and just as a bit of a tribute to him.